What's up, pups? How you guys doing? I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. So today we are discussing final thoughts on Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. Here we go. So if you haven't watched my video reactions to each individual act, I will leave the playlist here. A card will be popping up and you can click that and go watch that before you watch this. Or if you just want to watch this, that's cool too, no problem. If you haven't read Cursed Child, there will be ample amounts of spoilers in here, I'm sure. So please don't spoil it for yourself if you plan on reading it. I did not like Cursed Child. If you watch the individual act reviews that I did, you will know that I absolutely hated this book. It's not my story. It is not what I would call canon. I get that it is, but it's not what I would call canon. And there are a few reasons why I feel this way. The biggest reason being it does not feel like something that J.K. Rowling wrote. And granted, she didn't really write it. She had some input, but it was written by two other individuals. I can't wrap my head around that. Like, I get that it's not a novel, which, okay, fine, it's a play. The thing is that plays, I get that they're written differently than novels, totally 100%. But it wasn't just the fact that it wasn't a novel. It was the fact that it just wasn't written the way that the other 7 books were written. It didn't flow the same way. It just, you know what it is? It didn't feel canon. I know this is supposed to be canon, but it didn't even feel canon. It didn't feel like it was the same characters. I didn't feel like I was reading about the same Harry, Hermione, and Ron that I've known and loved, and it felt wrong. The second biggest issue that I have is that it felt like poorly written fan fiction. I felt like I was reading the Harry Potter equivalent of Twilight and 50 Shades of Grey without all of the BDSM. The more that I read, the further I got into the story, the less I could identify with characters that I've already known. Like, it wasn't even just the fact that I've never met Scorpius and Albus in this way before. It was that the characters that I know and love were less identifiable to me, and that was what was difficult. I know that I mentioned in one of my previous videos that I did like the fact that they gave Hermione like these super empowering positions. That was great, but it still didn't feel like Hermione to me. It didn't feel like the Hermione that I know. The way that she spoke and the way that they presented her didn't feel like the Hermione from the books. You're still who you are. Like, you change, but you don't change that much. It was like a completely different character. And I might be the only person that feels this way, but like, they really, really, really tried to push this whole like Ron is a jokester type thing. I don't remember Ron being that jokey. Ron was never the jokester to me. Like, he was never a character that I would identify as like the comic relief in that sense. That's what his brothers were for. I get that he works at the joke shop, but like, come on. Like, it was just I don't know, it was weird. That kind of made me feel weird. I also didn't like that it painted Harry Potter as like the worst dad of the year. Like, I get he didn't have a father figure growing up. I understand how things like that work. I understand that in the real world, 9 times out of 10, if you don't have a father figure, you struggle to know how to interact when you're a father. I get that, but I really didn't like how they painted him as this, I don't know. Do you guys know what I feel like? It's really hard to explain what I mean too, because this book was so, this was so confusing to read and so confusing to follow along with. And there were so many things that I didn't like about it. I've talked to people who say that the play is definitely something that I need to see. And I don't know when I'll be visiting the UK to actually go witness it on stage. I heard rumors that they are thinking about creating a film and making either 1 or 2 films out of this. It's like, I don't know if it's better to just say don't do it, like the damage has been done, or do it and try to redeem yourself. But then if it fails, it's like, I just don't want to feel, I guess I'm like feeling like my fandom is failing me, and that makes me really sad, because literally before this moment, before reading this book, there was nothing about the fandom that I did not like. I mean, there's aspects of it that I've never really participated in. Like, I've never seen the Potter musical thing, which a lot of my friends tell me I should, but I never got into that aspect of it. There's a lot of things that I haven't taken part in. There's things I have taken part in, and it's hard because this is something now that like is not just like the fandom. It's supposed to be canon, and I don't like that there's something about the fandom now that I don't enjoy. Like, that makes me feel like a bad Harry Potter fan, and I don't think that's fair because these feelings are not unwarranted, and I don't know. And I will say this too, I feel like casual fans of Harry Potter, like people who, I like Harry Potter, you know, like it's cool, oh yeah, the book's cool, no problem. Casual fans probably don't feel as strongly as like die-hard series fans do, and I would definitely consider myself a die-hard Harry Potter fan, someone who's invested a lot of my life and my time into Harry Potter and have been shaped and molded, and it's really made a difference on who I am today because it's had such a huge impact in my life, and it's like I feel let down. Like I just feel let down. It's like years of knowing my characters and knowing the plot and knowing the story has just been like thrown out the window. And that feels like the biggest slap in the face and the biggest disappointment. Does anyone else feel the same? Like, please tell me if you feel the same. I just need to know that I'm not alone in these feelings. I know from reading the comments in the ACT reviews that I did that a lot of you have the same reactions that I did to different aspects of the book itself. I keep wanting to say novel, but I know it's not a novel. But I just don't know if, like, am I overreacting? Like, am I pushing too hard? Am I looking too into this? Like, I don't know. I don't think I am. If you're like me and you consider yourself like a die-hard 110%, 10 out of 10 Harry Potter fan, I will say this. Read it if you feel that you really need to read it, because I get that. I get that urge where you're like, it's part of Harry Potter, I need to read it, I need to experience it. Know what you're getting into, and know that it's probably going to affect the way that you feel. You feel like you don't want to experience that, which I kind of am leaning towards wishing I had never read it. Don't read it. If you can hold back, don't read it. Don't let it spoil. Don't let it spoil it for you. It's like my cinnamon roll has been contaminated. I hate it. Just be wary. Be wary with caution. Proceed with caution. On a lighter note, still love Harry Potter. It's still going to be a huge part of my life. It still makes up a huge part of who I am, and I will never not love Harry Potter. I just will like blindly continue on in life pretending that Cursed Child never happened. Anyway guys, if this is the first video that you're seeing of mine, hi, I'm Kayleigh. You should subscribe by hitting that red button right down below and we can become best friends forever. Links to my Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, and Instagram are also down below. I'll see you guys in a few days with another video. Bye everyone.